Some folks see a dusty old baseball card and just see cardboard. They see a faded ticket stub and think it's trash. I get it. On the surface, it's just stuff. Old stuff. But, if you look a little closer, you see something else entirely. You see a story. You see a moment frozen in time, a piece of history you can actually hold in your hand. It's the closest most of us will ever get to standing on the field during the World Series, or feeling the roar of the crowd at the Super Bowl. This isn't just about collecting things, it's about collecting memories, heroes, and the moments that made us stand up and cheer. It's a connection to something bigger than ourselves, a tangible link to greatness. Think about it. Every scuffed-up baseball, every autographed jersey, every dog-eared program has a story to tell. It's seen things. It was there. That ball might have been thrown by a legend, caught by a hero, or maybe just fouled off into the stands and grabbed by a kid who couldn't believe his luck. That ticket stub wasn't just a way to get into a stadium, it was a passport to an unforgettable day. These objects are the silent witnesses to the triumphs and heartbreaks that define sports. They're the physical proof that these incredible moments actually happened, long after the cheers have faded and the players have hung up their spikes for good. For generations we've held on to these pieces of the past. It starts simply. A father takes his son to his first football game and buys him his first jersey. A teenager waits by the dugout for hours, hoping for a signature from their favorite player. These aren't calculated investments, they're acts of passion. They are driven by a simple human desire to keep a piece of the magic. It's a way of saying, I was there, or this person inspired me. In a world that's becoming more digital and distant every day, these physical objects ground us. They remind us of the real, sweaty, and glorious effort that goes into making sports history. So as we look at how this world of collecting has changed, from simple keepsakes to high-tech digital assets, let's not forget what's at the heart of it all. It's the story, it's the connection, it's the dirty, gritty, and beautiful job of preserving history, one dusty, forgotten, and utterly priceless piece at a time. It's about holding a piece of a legend in your own two hands and feeling the weight of the moment it represents. Because at the end of the day, these aren't just things. They are relics of human achievement, and that's a job worth doing.
Long before big money and fancy auction houses got involved, collecting was a simple affair. It was personal. It was pure. Imagine the early days of baseball, back when the stadiums were made of wood and the players had off-season jobs to make ends meet. A fan would go to a game and maybe they'd keep their ticket stub as a souvenir. Perhaps they'd buy a scorecard to keep track of the plays, scribbling notes in the margins. These weren't collectibles in the modern sense. They were keepsakes, mementos of a day well spent, something to tuck away in a drawer or a shoebox to be looked at years later with a fond smile. The value wasn't monetary, it was sentimental. A signed baseball wasn't a potential nest egg. It was a direct connection to a hero. Getting that signature meant you stood there. You looked your idol in the eye, and for a brief moment, you were part of their world. These early collectors were true fans. They weren't thinking about grading, population reports, or future returns. They were driven by a love of the game. The items they gathered were extensions of their passion, physical reminders of the players and teams that brought them joy, excitement, and sometimes a little bit of heartbreak. It was a hobby rooted in innocence. Think about the first baseball cards, often tucked into packs of cigarettes or bubblegum. They weren't designed to be preserved in pristine condition. Kids traded them, flipped them, and stuck them in the spokes of their bicycles to make a cool, rattling sound. They were meant to be used, enjoyed, and handled. The idea that one of those cards could one day be worth millions would have been laughable. It was a kid's game, a simple pleasure. The collection grew organically, piece by piece, game by game, reflecting a personal journey through the seasons of a sport and the seasons of a life. It was a quieter time for collecting, a world away from the bright lights and big headlines we see today. The community was smaller, built on word-of-mouth trades and shared passions discovered at local swap meets. You didn't need a fortune to participate, you just needed a love for the game. The treasures were measured in memories, not dollars. That shoebox under the bed wasn't a vault, it was a time capsule. And in many ways, that simple, unpretentious spirit is something that many collectors still search for today. A reminder of why we fell in love with this stuff in the first place.
Then came the 1980s and 90s and everything changed. The quiet hobby of collecting suddenly got very, very hot. What was once a pastime for kids and die-hard fans exploded into a full-blown industry. Suddenly, the evening news was reporting on the sale of a baseball card for tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands of dollars. The Honus Wagner T206 card became a household name, a symbol of this new gold rush. People who had long forgotten about their childhood collection started digging through their attics, hoping they were sitting on a fortune. The game had changed, and money was now the star player. A perfect storm of factors fueled this boom. The rise of cable sports networks meant players were becoming bigger-than-life celebrities. Michael Jordan wasn't just a basketball player, he was a global icon. Cal Ripken Jr. wasn't just an infielder, he was the Iron Man. Their incredible performances and marketability created a massive demand for anything they touched, wore, or signed. Celebrities started getting in on the action too. Famous actors and musicians proudly talked about their collections, lending a new level of glamour and legitimacy to the hobby. It was no longer just for nerds, it was cool. This era was defined by headline-grabbing sales. In 1991, hockey legend Wayne Gretzky and the owner of the Los Angeles Kings bought that fabled Honus Wagner card for $451,000. That single transaction sent shockwaves through the industry. It told the world that sports memorabilia was no longer just a hobby, it was a serious asset class, a legitimate alternative investment. Price guides became Bibles, and professional grading companies emerged to authenticate and assign a numerical grade to cards, turning a subjective hobby into an objective market. The focus shifted from sentimental value to market value. The innocence was gone, replaced by a frantic, speculative energy. Card shows, once small local gatherings, turned into massive conventions held in sprawling exhibition halls, with armed guards protecting the most valuable items. People lined up for hours, not just for an autograph, but for an autograph they could immediately flip for a profit. The hobby had put on a suit and tie and learned to talk business. While this boom brought a lot of new people into collecting, it also created a bubble. But one thing was certain, sports memorabilia had stepped out of the shoebox and onto the world stage, forever changing how we view a simple piece of cardboard.
As the market grew, something fascinating happened. Certain pieces of memorabilia transcended the hobby and became part of our shared cultural language. They were no longer just collectibles, they were icons. Think of Babe Ruth's bat or Muhammad Ali's boxing gloves. You don't have to be a collector to understand their significance. These items are shorthand for greatness, courage, and moments that defined an era. They are tangible symbols that tell a story everyone knows. Owning a piece like that isn't just about owning a rare object. It's about owning a piece of a legend, a physical connection to a myth. These items became powerful symbols of identity, both for individuals and for entire communities. A Green Bay Packers cheesehead isn't just a silly hat, it's a declaration of allegiance. A terrible towel waved at a Steelers game is a banner of unity for an entire city. These objects connect us to a tribe. They let us wear our loyalty on our sleeve or on our head, as the case may be. They are a way of saying, this is who I am, this is my team, this is my town. They become part of our personal story, woven into the fabric of our family traditions and community pride. The stories behind the memorabilia are what give them their power. The ball from Kirk Gibson's improbable home run in the 1988 World Series isn't just a scuffed-up piece of leather. It's a symbol of overcoming the odds. The Miracle on Ice puck represents one of the greatest upsets in sports history, a moment when a team of college kids defeated a global superpower. These objects are infused with the emotion of the moment. They carry the weight of the drama, the struggle, and the ultimate triumph. When we see them, we don't just see an object, we feel the story all over again. This is how memorabilia becomes more than just a hobby. It becomes a way we process and remember history. It's how we teach the next generation about the heroes of the past. Displaying a Jackie Robinson signed photo in your home is a statement. It's about honoring not just an incredible athlete, but a civil rights pioneer who changed the world. These items are conversation starters, educational tools, and sources of inspiration. They remind us that sports are more than just games. They are a reflection of our society, our values, and our greatest aspirations. They are history we can touch.
Just when we thought the world of collecting had settled, the internet came along and flipped the table over. The digital revolution completely transformed the hobby, breaking down geographical barriers and connecting collectors in ways that were once unimaginable. Suddenly, That rare card you could only find by visiting dozens of local shops was just a few clicks away on an online auction site. eBay became the new convention hall, a global marketplace open 24/7. Your search for a specific piece of memorabilia was no longer limited to your town or state. You could now hunt for treasure in an attic in Australia from your couch in Ohio. This new accessibility changed everything. Then came the next leap, and it was a big one: digital collectibles. The concept of owning something you couldn't physically touch seemed strange at first. But with the rise of blockchain technology, non-fungible tokens, or NFTs, became a reality. An NFT is like a digital certificate of authenticity, proving ownership of a unique digital item, like a video highlight of a spectacular play. NBA Top Shot was a game changer, allowing fans to own iconic moments, like a LeBron James dunk, as a certified digital asset. This opened up a whole new frontier for what a collectible could even be. This digital shift is pushing the boundaries of collecting even further. Now we have technology like augmented reality, which can bring our collectibles to life. Imagine pointing your phone at a player's card and seeing a three-dimensional hologram of them appear on your table, complete with their stats and career highlights. Artificial intelligence is also playing a role, helping collectors analyze market trends, identify rare items, and even predict future value. The digital dugout isn't just a marketplace. It's an interactive museum where history and technology collide in fascinating new ways. The dusty attic is being replaced by the digital cloud. At Nostalgia Nook Antiques, we know sports memorabilia isn't just stuff. It's your heroes, your history, and your bragging rights. Whether you're chasing a signed baseball, a vintage jersey, or that one piece that makes your collection complete, we've got it. Step into the past, grab a piece of history, and own a legend today.